But we are fine. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear, Buki.
So good morning, Lens family. How are we doing? Trust we're doing great.
Pause. All right, so we have Buki this morning on the program Halent, and we're just going to go into some of the conversations that we have this morning. Okay, so yes, we're live on YouTube. You can go ahead and, of course, join us there and drop your comments on the conversations that we are going to be having this morning. Christmas is just around the corner. I hope that you're preparing and you're getting ready for it. If not for anything, safe, at least be listening to Christmas songs. Just add it to the playlist while we're getting ready for it. And that one self go help you prepare. It go help you, they gingered a bit for it, so that we don't feel that nothing is happening around you. Download Christmas songs and start playing them, start listening to them to get you in the right mood. All right, Susan just joined in. Good morning, Susan. How are you today?
Good morning, Rose. Good morning, Madam Buki. Good morning, Halens family. I'm doing well.
Yes.
Happy Woman Rights Day and
Yeah.
happy last day of the 16 days of activism. But Aluta continue. We are not giving up anytime soon.
Yes.
We know.
So it's good to
It's
be
not
back.
time to.
How are we doing?
We're good. We're good. We're great. Helen's family, too, I believe, are doing great too, wherever they are. And yes, happy Human Rights Day, because 16 days of activism always ends with the Human Rights Day. So yeah, happy Human Rights Day. And we want to talk about these issues. Like Susan just said, it's not the time for us to say, oh, you don't pass, you don't pass. And no. So yesterday, somebody reached out. In fact, I think on Monday, a lady came to our office and said, oh, she wants to do something on 16 days of activism. She needs airtime, blah, 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 and all of that. And I told her that, I wish, you got in touch with us like way earlier, maybe like 2 weeks ago or so. Maybe you would have been part of the organizations that we would speak to as regards 16 days of activism. And she was a bit sad about it, but we definitely saw what try to do what we can do for her. And then today, that is the last day. Our marketing manager is telling me that, oh, we want to have a meeting with somebody who wants to do something on 16 days. I'm like, but today is the last day now. And then it just clicked in my head that no, it's last season, they don't finish, but the matter will still continue. So we'll continue the momentum like that. Let's just keep it going until we see the change that we need to see. All right. So yeah, it's good to have you, Susan, join us this morning. So yeah, like I said, a couple of issues for us to talk about. Today is the last day of the 16 days of activism, and this particular one, I would say, child online safety bill to protect minors in digital space. Now, the House of Representatives has passed a Child Online Access Protection Bill HB 244 at its third reading. A development widely welcomed by Nigerian civil society groups as a major step towards safeguarding children online. Now, this was confirmed in a statement sent to Premium Times. The bill, sponsored by Olumide Oshoba, aims to establish Nigeria's most comprehensive legal framework yet to tackle online exploitation, strengthening platform accountability, and enforce digital responsibility among technology companies. All right, so at the end of the day, to a very large extent, we can't stop children from going online. Even if you stop them for your house, they will still come up for your house, go neighbor house, go school, go somewhere that a phone will be passed to them. And what they consume from those phones, or from any sort of gadgets though, um to a large extent you can't control it. If you control what is within your immediate environment, that's your home, you might not be able to control what they see in school, what they see from neighbors, what they see from children who are their friends, whose parents have allowed them access or given them access to some of these gadgets. So you might not be able to control whatever goes on outside your immediate environment. So children will always have access to phones, and this opens them to a lot of online violence, sexual harassment, and all of that. So, which country right now? I think was it last week or last 2 weeks or sometime a lot of reaction because I saw an interview of one of the local news stations here in Nigeria interviewing a young girl who was in secondary school. And she was saying that no, they can't take away, they shouldn't ban them from going online because they do assignment, they do this, it helps them that. And moreover, we're in a technology age, kiniko. She just kept going on and on. And in my mind, I was saying, this young lady, you might not understand why they are saying all of this, but for you, you're just looking at how it benefits you or how just, but you're not looking at the dangers of it, or you feel that you've gotten to a stage where you can keep yourself away from the dangers of it. But meanwhile, if we look at it critically, you might not be able to do, because a lot of them come in subtle ways that, and then it gets to affect your mental health, or gets to affect you psychologically, or gets to give you a notion about a specific gender later on in life. It just distorts, you know, your way of life when it comes to that. So this has definitely come at the right time, I would say. But what needs to be done? How can we continue to push this? Because it's one thing for this bill to be passed, and it's another thing for enforcement. How do we save our children from online violence? Because the thing for this year is also, end digital violence, on women and girls. So, Buki, let's start with you on this. How do we go forward from all of this? How do we make sure that this bill that has actually, been passed, it's actually implemented and it cascades down to our rural communities?
Okay, yes. So there is the aspect of passing the bill, which is a big issue, and it's lovely. I think they're taking it to the Senate, and once they are done with that, the next is to get the president to assent to it, and
Yeah.
it becomes a law. So the next thing is how do we how do we get it, to the public? How do we get to execute it? I want to come from the angle of we as Nigerians, we're a special breed. We're a special breed of people. Um, Maybe in advanced countries, people they follow through, by the time, and because this one will have done public hearing, and I'm not sure how many millions of Nigerians even know that there was a public hearing, even they themselves, how did they how did they bring it out to the public? It's probably those the NGOs, the civil society, and those that about it would actually want to listen, to the public hearing and come up with their own. But where am I going to is this, that let us even look at all the bills that have been passed. What is the problem? Why are we not getting to hear it? Why is it not being implemented? So it's an issue of the citizens hearing. Another issue is why is it not being implemented? If we understand the previous bills, then maybe we'll be able to fashion out a way forward for this one. But we don't even have to wait to hear that. We can even say, from the little bit we know, number one, in terms of implementation, who are the stakeholders? Who are the stakeholders that are supposed to implement this by the assent? By now, they ought to be meeting to ensure that all the resources that they need, where they need to track, because now it's digital platform, they need to track these things, what are the things they need to know? Do they have to go for training? What are the keywords that have to be used? All these things, they have to begin to get them on. And then for the other side, they need to engage, look at what happened for the the tax man.
Yes.
It has become a referral point. Even the Iyoloja knows that January something is happening to tax.
Mm.
And because the way they went about the stakeholders' engagement, media houses, they were calling them and they were honoring them. Now they even started going to churches. We invited them And I mean, the man also now mentioned that they have been going to religious organizations, podcasts, Osunloni, print media, the day, TikTok,